Hello. I want to talk today about the women who try to use their children as a weapon against a man, who use their children to hold a man hostage, to keep that man from moving on with his life, and to keep him from maybe getting married or getting another relationship with another woman because they still want him. And so, I want to let you guys know today that that is pretty witchcraft when you do stuff like that. Anytime you try to hold anybody hostage, I don't care who it is, when it comes to like them wanting to leave you, or them wanting to divorce you, or just any person in this lifetime who, if whether they're in your church, and you try to weaponize keeping them there by using using words, hurtful words, to say that you won't be blessed if you leave my church and da da da. But we're going to talk about women's today, okay? Then we'll talk about men's later on, but we're going to talk about women's because I'm called to women's, not to men. So I have seen this behavior because this is something that I went through in my marriage, okay? And I think it's time to talk about everything because I've held a lot inside that I kept for many, many years. I'm about to be married 20 years next month. And I've held this, close and dear to my heart until I felt like, okay, now I can release this to other young women so it can help you guys to understand that when somebody wants to leave you, or when somebody don't want to be with you, do not try to make them stay, okay? Because that is witchcraft. Don't use your children as a way to stay in that man's life, or hold on to that man, or keep him from moving on. Don't do that, okay? Because that is witchcraft. Whether you know it or not, it's witchcraft. I know some women don't care, but there is women who don't understand that this is happening and that they are doing this. And I know if they knew, they wouldn't want to do it, but I'm here to help, okay? So basically in my life, my husband's ex did this to us, where she would use the children as a weapon to try and get to him, right? So one of the things she did was she would tell the kids that I am not their mother, okay? Which we know, when you get married, what belongs to the man belongs to the wife as well. So, I don't dabble in ignorancy, but okay, you say what you say and it is what it is. But when they come over to my house, I'm going to treat them like a stepmother will treat her own kids, okay? Number two, she used child support as a way to try to weaponize against him by saying, I'm gonna bury you. This is what she said to my husband. I'm going to bury you. So when she said that, of course, that type of stuff, when you use curse words, curse, as a curse to try to put a spell on somebody, because that's what that is. When you tell somebody, I'm gonna bury you, you're trying to mess with their minds. You're trying to get to their minds to say, like, okay, you did this to me and I'm gonna do this to you. Because the Bible says an eye for an eye does not work, right? An eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth, it does not work. You trying to repay somebody for what they have done to you, you're stopping God's hand. If somebody have done you wrong and then you try to fix it yourself and do something for yourself, God will not move on your behalf. God will literally take his hands out and let you do whatever you got to do. And then you suffer what that person should have suffered, you will end up suffering, okay? So that's why I tell you, don't do it. Don't try to find a way to pay the man back, because you would cause yourself to have to pay for what that person maybe have done to you, because in all honesty, it was all in her mind what she said, but that is not what I'm here to talk about. Okay, number three, she would tell the kids that they dad don't want them, right? In that way, like he loves our kids that he and I have more than he loved their kids, which was not true. My husband is a man who loves all of his kids. Okay, when I say this man loves kids, he loves kids, period. He loves all of his kids, okay? The same, not differently, okay? I was never the type that told my husband, like, you know, you gotta love these more than you love them. Like, I wanted my kids to be my children to know them and them know my children, and I wanted my husband to be able to, you know, love on his kids over there as well as his kids here. I was never the type that thought of like, you gonna love us over here more than you love them. Like, it was never like that, okay? And then she would do like little nitpicking things of like, she would call his phone all the time when they first wasn't together anymore. She would call his phone all the time, and we was married at the time, and so she would call his phone all the time, and she would say, this is wrong with the child, this is wrong with the child, and it was nothing wrong with those kids, y'all. It was just her way of being able to call his phone. So I got to the point where I got tired of her calling my husband's phone for no apparent reason at all. And I got the phone and I told her, I said, listen, there is nothing wrong with a child every day. Do not call my husband's phone anymore, okay? And so after that, she did not call his phone, but she called my mother's house, being funny, you know, asking where her kids at and things like this, being funny, okay, being funny, just doing little nitpicking things, what immature people does, okay, immature women do. And so but a lot of women's, okay, they use child support as a way to try to get to the man. My husband is the type that he would take her checks, right? He would write her out checks and go and take it to it. So when she needed something for the kids, she would be able to get it for them. But that was not enough, right? So every time she found out that my husband was making more money, she would call the child support office, and she would want to go back to court so she can get even more money, right? So she would keep tabs on my husband's check. Okay, so after all of that, once child support was over with, and this was going on many years, y'all, like, it was just little nitpicking things that she would do because she wanted my husband. She would tell her children that he don't love them, he loved them, you know. She would say, like, she stole my husband from me to her kids, you know, which was not true, but I'm not going to tell that story today, but I will get into that story so you guys will understand what happened when it came to that. But that's neither here nor there. But it was just the little small things that this girl would do just to try to get at my husband, right? And she would use his children to do it. Well, not only her, but I have seen women use children as a way to still talk to a man, right? Like, oh, we got kids together, and, you know, our kids this and our kids that, even though the kids grown, but they use their kids as a way to hold on to that man. That's witchcraft. That's control and manipulation, because you know what you're doing. You know that when you divorce a man, right? When you divorce a man, you no longer have access to that man. You can no longer talk to that man when you get ready. You can no longer tell that man what to do, okay? Like, you have lost all rights to this man. Let's go to divorce, because some women's are straight out shallow, okay? They are straight out shallow when it comes to trying to hold on to somebody who don't want you and you don't want them to move on. Life goes on, okay? It goes on where there is somebody for everybody, okay? Even if somebody treated you wrong and did you wrong, don't try to pay them back by, oh, I'm finna go get another man, which what she tried to go and get another man, moving the men's in the house with her, taking my husband's money that he would send to his kids, and which is the child support money, and she would take it and spend it up on the man. Okay, she let the lights went off, she let the house get foreclosed, and this was things that this girl was doing because she so badly still wanted my husband. Okay. So when she end up moving another man in the house and stuff like that, which the court said for her to not do, because when you're not married, you cannot have anybody around your kids, according to the court's paper. And so, but she was doing it anyway. And so we tried to go back to court for that, because if it's in the paper, okay, we want to we don't want the kids in danger. Number one, it was not the fact that she had a man in the house, but it was the fact that she had a man who she did not know around the kids. She has two girls and one son. And so we know that, you know, anything can happen to kids when these men are not the father of the kids. Women are not the mother of the kids, and you have these people around your kids. Anything can be going on in the house, right? But it was we stopped pursuing it because we was like, okay, oh well, it does not matter. But she did that, and then when she saw that it did not work when it came to my husband, of like him paying her any attention, then she let the man go. She didn't want him anymore. And it wasn't just one, it was two or three that she did this with, and she really didn't want the men. She was just using them. Plus she would take the kids' money and buy them things and things like that, you know, trying to get attention, trying to fulfill the void that whatever she was feeling in her life, she was trying to do. But listen, let me tell y'all something. When you are divorced from a man, okay, you no longer have access to that man at all. That man no longer have to answer to you about anything other than if it's about the kids. And that's why I say a lot of these women try to use their kids to hold on to a man, just to be able to talk to him on the phone and hear his voice, fantasize about him, lusting about him, because now it has turned into lust because you're no longer married to him. Okay, so now it is lust because you just doing any reckless behavior to try to get to a person. So divorce means when you it's basically you send a person away. It's basically like God. It's a separation where when we sin on God, right? When we hurt God, when we sin against him, we are no longer committed to him, married to him, nothing to him. Okay, we are now separated from him. That's what happened to Adam and Eve. You are now separated from God. That is what divorce is. You are separated from the person where you no longer have access to them. We no longer had access to God. When we are separated from God, we no longer have access to him, versus when we are a child of God and we can come to him and ask him for what we will in his name, and you know, he would provide. Okay, but when a wife is married to a husband, she is able to go to her husband and ask him for what she will, right? She's able to say, this is my husband. She's able to have access to him when she's ready, you know, for him and him for her. But you lose all privileges when you are divorced from a person. Now it turns into lust, people. Okay, now it turns into lust. Now it turns into obsession. When you now, and this is what happened with my husband. It became obsession with my husband. Okay, where now you are just doing anything, using the kids to try to get to him, to try to control his mind, to try to mess up our marriage, right? And you would do any little old thing to try to make yourself feel good. Okay. This is why I said it turned into obsession. It's no longer I love you. It's obsession. It's obsession. Let's go to obsession. Hold on. Let me turn this thing off. Okay. When you are obsessed with a person, it said, as in problem, something about which one is constantly thinking or concerned. So you're constantly thinking about a person. This person is always on your mind, even though it was 20 years ago that 21 years ago they was divorcing. 20 years ago we have been married. Okay. And so like that was 20 years ago, and you still doing the same childish thing, telling your kids that she stole my husband, and telling his kids, trying to keep his youngest daughter away from him, you know, using the child as a weapon against him. Don't want his child to talk to him. And the girl has not talked to her dad in, like, let me see, 6 years now. She has not talked to her dad because her mom keep putting things in her ear, saying that he left you when you was a baby, when you was just like 3-4 years old. He did not care. Y'all, we was going to pick the children up all the time, like all the time. But okay, this is something that you're telling your kids, that you're going to I mean, he don't want you, or he never had interest in you as his daughter because he didn't spend no time with you, which was a whole lie. But I'm just letting y'all in on obsession, what obsession is, okay? Because you are thirsty and you are craving for this man. You want him so bad, and you consistently tell your son, which he told me not too long ago, that she's still saying the same thing. This been 20 years ago, and you still saying the same thing, that she stole my husband. Y'all, what is that? Which is a lie. But like I said, I don't want to talk about that today. I'll come on here and talk about that some other time when God released me to tell it. But y'all, it's foolishness. It is foolishness. And if you loved him, you would have never cheated in the first place. If you loved him in that way, you would have never cheated on him, because that's not love. Okay? So obsessed means as in worried, having extreme or relentless concern. This girl has been trying to be involved in our marriage ever since we've been married, y'all. Like, she has literally been trying to destroy our marriage ever since we've been married. You are having anxiety about this man being with somebody else. This is bad. Look at what obsessed means. You are worried. You are concerned. You are anxious. You are engaged in trying to break up somebody's marriage. Silly, foolish, distracted, crazy. And it's good to know that we got your attention like that. That's crazy. It said obsessed as in attracted, to hold one's attention to an extreme degree. Y'all, when I tell you, now this is the real obsession. As in attracted, to hold one's attention to an extreme degree. Yes. Y'all know this is witchcraft. This is witchcraft. Let me show you. This is witchcraft. When something captivates your mind like that, that's witchcraft. As in enchanted being or appearing to be under a magic spell. My husband don't dabble in witchcraft. So why in the world is you so focused on this man still, and it been 20 years ago? This is when it turns turns into witchcraft, people. When you obsessed with somebody, when you are obsessed with somebody, okay, it turns into witchcraft. I have no reason to lie. It turns into witchcraft, and this has to stop. Obsession, meaning I would do anything to have this man or to mess up his relationship or marriage with somebody. I would do anything to make my children not want to talk to him and stuff. Like, y'all, it's obsession, it's witchcraft. This is dangerous. It's dangerous. Look here. As in fascinated, to attract or delight as if by magic. Captivated. Witched. Look here. Witched. You are a whole witch when you become so obsessed with a man. That you cannot get him off your mind. And you start doing anything that you can to make him. I heard them talking about them love spells on TikTok. Somebody giving somebody a love spell to make you want a man, won't you? What? Are you serious? Are you that desperate that you would do anything to try to take somebody's power away from them? You want to be so powerful, which they do it in the church nowadays too. You want to be so powerful. You so obsessed over being a leader. You're so obsessed over having the money that you would do anything to get it. Y'all, this is crazy. That they start to hire people. They start to hire people to try to break up your marriage. They start to get their friends to try to sleep with your husband. That's obsession. That is a witch, a whole witch. And God says, suffer not a witch to live. That you got to go out your way to try to ruin people's lives. Y'all see? Y'all see how that turned into witchcraft quick? Look here. Obsession. Distracted. Obsession. Bewitched. Bewitched. Appearing to be under a magic spell. But y'all, when you so fascinated with a man, it quickly turns into obsession. At this point, you are obsessed because you're trying to control somebody's mind, where you are consistently thinking about this person all the time. All the time. They got you actually right where they want you at. And most women are charmed by the sex. It be by the sex. It's not by that they actually love you. It be by the sex that they are attracted to. They're not really attracted to the man, because she was not attracted to my husband. And like I said, I'll tell y'all all of that later on. But so if you want to hear the stories and things like that, this channel is about to get heated. Okay, we about to light up some stuff that y'all don't know that be happening in this world, that these people use these love spells and things like that to try to get somebody. Let me show you what these love spells is. They become so obsessed that they start trying to hire people to get what they need done. A love spell is a magical ritual intended to attract, strengthen, or influence romantic feelings, affection, or sexual desire between individuals. These practices, rooted in various traditions, often involve tools like candles, herbs, or written intentions to create a bond. So written intentions is nothing but spells, y'all. Spoken words. That's why God said you can kill somebody with your tongue, or you can bring somebody back to life with your tongue. Witches know what they're doing when it comes to this, to create a bond, with some focusing on self-love while others aim to influence a specific person's free will. So when you take somebody's free will away, trying to... Did I just... But when you try to take somebody's free will away to love you, you have now turned into a witch. A person have to be willingly to love you, not you making them love you. So now, when that person don't want you, now it turns into obsession, because I'm trying to figure out a way that I can get him back, or cause his life to go left, right? So you're really trying to control somebody. That's a witch. That's a whole witch. It said purpose. They are designed to bring love, rekindle passion, or secure a commitment. Methods. Common rituals including lighting candles, often red for passion, pink for romance, using photos or personal items of the desired person, and reciting intentions. Attraction. Focus on changing one's own aura to become more desirable. Binding. Aim at creating an unbreakable, often obsessive bond with a specific individual. This is why you have to be careful who you married to. Y'all be thinking God be putting y'all with everybody, and he don't. He don't. God be knowing when somebody is a whole witch. And this person was using her body when it came to my husband to try to keep him. She would have babies and didn't even like her own kids, to try to manipulate him, control him, and keep him. And when she saw that it didn't work, because when God put him with me, it broke all of that. It broke all of that, because I'm a real prophet at the end of the day. And you can't come over here playing games. And so God began to show me things to break off my husband's life of what he was experiencing. One was insecurity, where she broke him by cheating on him. Y'all got to understand, this is no joke. It's no joke. When you sit there and you're married to a whole wizard, a whole witch, which all of it is witches. And y'all be thinking that every marriage is called by God. It is not. God be trying to save some of y'all life, and y'all still be up there trying to do a love spell on somebody, because you're a whole witch yourself. Y'all don't understand the deepness to this and the depth to this. But I'm gonna be coming back on here talking about this stuff, because these videos get so long because I get so excited of talking to you guys. But like I said, this channel is about to heat up. So if you want to hear more tea when it comes to things like this, baby, subscribe to my channel, like this video, thumbs up this video, and share this video with somebody. And that's all we asking you to do over here. Nothing else. But I want to show you guys the truth in the dark when it comes to darkness, okay? When it comes to what these people be doing behind the scenes, and you think that you married to a man of God and you married to a whole witch or wizard. When you think you married to a woman of God and you married to a whole witch and wizard. Half of them be out there using cards to know how to get to you, even though they married to you, and they be out there using them tarot cards and stuff. Ouija boards, all this stuff that God say, it is abomination to me. Look right here. Do not seek revenge or bear a grudge against anyone among your people, but love your neighbor as yourself, and I am the Lord. God tell us all this, y'all, because it turns into obsession. When you don't deal with yes, Lord. When you don't deal with or allow God to deal with your heart, it becomes obsession. When you have hurt in your heart, you start being, and not just a man or a woman, but you start to become obsessed of how can I pay them back? How can I pay them back for what they have done to me? This is why God wants us to deal with our hearts, y'all. Because it will quickly turn into witchcraft. Oh, Jesus. My God. There's a lot of women dabbling in witchcraft because they're trying to figure out how can I pay my ex back? How can I pay him back? And the more you do, the more it counts towards you. And when God says suffer not a witch to live, you're playing around with fire. Because back in the days, witches didn't live playing around with witchcraft. Right here, do not have sexual relations with the sister of either your mother or your father, for that would dishonor a close relative. Both of you would be held responsible. It's an abomination to God for you to sleep with your sister man and your sister man sleeping with you. That's an abomination to God. You are a whole witch to God. If a man have sexual relations with a woman during her monthly period, that because you are sacrificing blood, listen to this, he has exposed the source of her flow, and she has also uncovered it. Both of them are to be cut off from their people. God said, you're a witch. You and he is a witch, because that's a sacrificial, that's blood. If a man marries his brother's wife, it is an act of impurity. He has dishonored his brother. They will be childless. A man or a woman, 27, who is a medium or spiritist, a witch, basically what God is saying, among you must be put to death. You are to stone them. Their blood will be on their own heads. So God said, don't be playing around with witches and witchcraft. Don't be playing around with this stuff. Because when you play around with it, you get burned. Because that's what they about to get. They about to get burned. Because God is not playing with people who are out here trying to take people free will away. Even if it's in the government. God is not playing with people when you're out here trying to take people free will away by controlling them in a way to the point that you cause them to lose their life. Because, yeah, you can. Using spells can cause people to die, lose their life. God ain't playing around with these witches and warlocks no more. He's not doing that. If a man has sexual relations with a man and one does with a woman, both of them have done what is detestable. They are to be put to death. Their blood will be on their own heads. These people sleeping with one another. Witchcraft. These men sleeping with men and these women sleeping with women. It's pretty witchcraft, y'all. It's a control. It's a way to control a person. Taking somebody's body without them giving consent to it. It's witchcraft. That's control. A man sleeping with a young girl. That's control. Okay? This year we're going to bust witchcraft wide open. Okay? We're going to bust witchcraft wide open. Because ain't nobody going to be around here controlling nobody. Even in these churches, we're going to bust it wide open because God ain't playing. curses their father or mother is to be put to death, because they have cursed their father or mother. Their blood will be on their own head. Putting spells on folks. Consecrate yourself and be holy, because I am the Lord your God. Keep my decrees and follow them. I am the Lord who makes you holy. I will set my face against anyone who turns to mediums and spiritists to prostitute themselves by following them, and I will cut them off from their people. So this is for the men's who turns to prostitutes. God said, if you don't repent for your sin, you're going to be cut off, because you are intentionally sleeping with a prostitute, you witch. Going to pay people for money, going to pay these women for their bodies, knowing that they hurt. You are considered a witch in God's eyesight. And the Lord said to Moses, say to the Israelite, any Israelite or any foreigner residing in Israel who sacrifices any of his children to Moloch, to put them to death. So these Freemasons and stuff like that who sacrificing their children to Moloch, the members of the community are to stone him. I myself will set my face against him and will cut him off from his people, for by sacrificing his children to Moloch he has defiled my sanctuary and profaned my holy name. If the members of the community close their eyes when that man sacrifices one of his children to Moloch, and if they fail to put him to death, I myself will set my face against him and his family and will cut them off from their people, together with all who follow him in prostituting themselves to Moloch. Punishment for sin. Okay. This is all sin. And God ain't playing. Keep all my decrees and laws and follow them, so that the land where I am bringing you to live may not vomit you out. You must not live according to the customs of the nations, I am going to drive out before you. The customs of the nations is where I pledge allegiance to the flag. You don't pledge no allegiance to no flag of no United States of America. I remember God brought that to me, and I was like, oh my God, I quickly repented. I don't pledge no allegiance to no flag. The only pledge I pledge is to God. So anybody who have pledged allegiance to a flag, you need to renounce it and repent to God, because God said you are not to pledge to any flag. You are not to pledge to any country, okay? Because I don't want nobody controlling y'all. You must not live according to the customs of the nations I am going to drive out before you. Because they did all these things, I abhor them. But I said to you, you will possess their land. I will give it to you as an inheritance, a land flowing with milk and honey. I am the Lord your God, who has set you apart from the nations, meaning from the people. So if you love your country more than you love God, that's a problem, okay? It's a problem. God said that's a detestament to him. It's an abomination to him for loving your country more than you love God. If you know that your country is hurting people, killing people, and doing stuff to people, and you sit here, I'm from the United States of America, and you don't want to, you want to take up for your country, and you know that they're doing wrong. No. God said we are not to have any part in it. These people being defiled. And that is Leviticus 20. Go read it for yourself. So yes. This is bad. This is bad, y'all. It's bad. It's bad. And now I see the things that God talks about when you don't want to forgive somebody. You start assessing off of trying to how to pay them back, how to get them back, what to do to them, and all that. Oh my God. That is terrible. That is terrible. So I think we need to do some repenting in Jesus' name. for anybody who have hurt us and harmed us in any kind of way, and then we don't allow God to take care of those people, and we sit up and try to our minds are so focused on how can I pay them back, how can I get them back, what can I do to them, all of that. No, 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 no. You're a witch. Don't do it. Don't do it. All right, that's all I got for y'all. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.